And then finally, an island. Now an island is really a key element in a kitchen. And in many kitchens, people use it to incorporate sinks and stoves or secondary sinks and vegetable prep areas. Now these vegetable prep areas are normally done on either end, so therefore you would have a sink here and you would be able to work from your sink over to your side, prep here and use the sink as a vegetable prep area, prep to the center and then go to a stove which is normally behind you. Now these 4 different applications are used with 4 different styles of kitchens. Again, a very simplistic kitchen here. Now this is very simple again. I'm using a random width beadboard on the back, a very simple corbel, open shelves, pocket theory drawers, and the lines of this piece are very, very simple. Unlike these others here that have jogs in and out, I wanted to keep this very linear. So again, the objective of this is you're looking at it, you're saying it's simple, it's clean, but it makes a statement. Now you have to take note here, this piece here, this corbel is 24 inches high. Now that 24 inches high is a necessity because an island of this size, you're talking about an island from point to point ranging anywhere between 8 to 10 feet, you need a substantial corbel. If the corbel was too small and 12 inches, it would be tiny in relation to the entire width of the piece, therefore being underscaled. So again, what I say to designers is always try to go one higher than you think that's proper. Many designers would say a 12-inch corbel would be adequate. I disagree with that. I think it should be boosted up to at least 18 to 24 inches. And again, in this application, you can see this rendering is showing a 24-inch corbel, and it meets beautifully with the scale and proportion of that island. Now we go to the other extreme here, which is a very ornate island. And I wanted to show these 2 extremes, again, both being beautiful in their own right, but this here has a lot of different things happening to it. A, this is grounded and this is floating. This floating element here is being supported by these beautiful carved legs. The corner posts are carved and giving you a way that you can turn the corner and create a furniture finish. Again, what designers are trying to do today is distinguish themselves from other designers. And the way you do that is you create pieces of furniture in a kitchen to say that this is an important design, this is an important element, and this is something that other designers are not doing for the client. So what I did here was all the corner posts are carved, the legs are carved. I have an apron underneath this as a carved element to it. And I did an opening with a French curve on the corner. And again, all these elements here are really supporting the French theme, the classical theme. And on here I did chicken wire here, or wire, which again is going to match to the color of the handles to incorporate a different element. I could certainly have easily done raised panels on it, but now what happens is this center point here is now expanded to either corner of the island. Now instead of being one interest point, which is right here, that interest point is now carried to the 2 sides. So now this wire mesh on both sides completes the whole. We go to the other end here, and on here I incorporated open shelves. So the open shelves here are doing 2 things. A, they're supporting this arc, which is a very classical element. The acanthus capitals on this are being supported by the keys, which have acanthus corbels on them. And again, an egg and dart element here on the bottom of this molding just adds the accentuation of these pieces. If I would have just done the upper section of the carved element and not carried it into the bottom, it would have been very detailed here and too minimalistic here. So these 2 needed to support themselves. Then I carried that element to the raised panel here, and I used that 1.5 inch, 1 3/4 molding to wrap that panel around to give even that simple panel beautiful elegance, picking up the detailing that I had on the top of these 2 pilasters. Now this one over here, I did this 3-tiered intentionally, because what I wanted to do here was I wanted to make sure that a designer understood that sometimes you don't have to do all of this carving to have an interesting island. You can incorporate these 4 elements here and you could support something that has a multi-leveled application. So here I did the front of the island, bar height. I did the back of the island, kitchen counter height for comfort. And I did the 3rd level here at 30 inches height, which is a baking center. So anyone who bakes knows that you want to be at a comfortable height. You want to be able to work there comfortably. A 34-inch height countertop here on the other side is not going to give you enough. You're going to need something that's 30 inches. So this way you can work your dough, you can work your pie crust, whatever it may be. You want to be at a certain height. So again, the interest of this is It's variable heights, and then again, it's an asymmetrical design, so you can see perfectly symmetrical. This added piece makes it asymmetrical. And then I incorporated a drawer here that they can use it for cooking elements. And I incorporated raised panels on the side, on both sides here, so you can see that that has a carved application. And it has some kind of inches without being overdone.